Welcome to Peak Ambition, the channel where excuses end, limits break, and success begins. If you're tired of waiting for the right moment, if you're ready to push past failure, build discipline, and take control of your future, you're in the right place. Here we don't just talk about motivation, we build a mindset for success. We teach you how to turn setbacks into comebacks, how to replace excuses with action, and how to develop the unshakable perseverance needed to win in life. So, if you're ready to stop dreaming and start achieving, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because here at Peak Ambition, we don't stop, we don't quit, and we never settle for less than greatness. Let's get to work. Success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about taking action now. Most people spend too much time overthinking, analyzing every possibility, and trying to predict every outcome before they start. They convince themselves that they need to have everything figured out before taking the first step. But the truth is, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to begin. Overthinking kills more dreams than failure ever will because it keeps you stuck in a cycle of doubt and hesitation. Think about all the times you wanted to do something. Start a business, go to the gym, launch a project, or chase a dream, but told yourself you weren't ready. Maybe you believed you needed more knowledge, more money, more experience, or more confidence. But the reality is, no one ever feels fully prepared. The people who succeed are the ones who take action, even when they don't have all the answers. They start with what they have and figure things out along the way. Perfection is an illusion that holds people back. Waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, or the right circumstances is just another way of avoiding action. The truth is, the perfect moment will never come. Life is always going to be messy, unpredictable, and full of challenges. If you wait for everything to be ideal, you'll be waiting forever. The key to success is to start now, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. Progress is made through action, not endless planning. Every great success story begins with a decision to start. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. They didn't wait until they were experts. They didn't wait until everything was safe or guaranteed. They took risks, made mistakes, and adjusted along the way. Steve Jobs started Apple in a garage. Jeff Bezos launched Amazon from a small office. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team, but he didn't let that stop him. He kept practicing, kept pushing, and became one of the greatest athletes in history. The problem with overthinking is that it creates fear. The more you analyze every possibility, the more you focus on what could go wrong. Your mind starts making excuses, and soon you convince yourself that starting is too risky, too complicated, or too overwhelming. But the reality is most of the things we fear never actually happen. And even when they do, they are rarely as bad as we imagine. The only way to break free from this cycle is to take action despite the fear. Action creates momentum. The first step is always the hardest, but once you start moving, things get easier. Imagine trying to push a car. At first, it takes a lot of effort, but once it starts rolling, it becomes much easier to keep it going. The same applies to any goal. The hardest part is just starting. Once you do, you build confidence, learn from experience, and gain the skills you need to succeed. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is learning to take action without waiting to feel ready. The best way to prepare is to start. The best way to learn is to do. Every small step you take brings you closer to where you want to be. Instead of waiting for motivation or inspiration, train yourself to act. Successful people don't wait until they feel like doing something. They do it regardless of how they feel. They understand that consistency beats motivation every time. Imagine where you could be a year from now if you started today. Imagine the progress you could make, the skills you could develop, and the confidence you could build. Now imagine where you'll be if you keep waiting, still in the same place, still making the same excuses, still wondering what if. The choice is yours. You can keep thinking about it, or you can take action and make it happen. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the decision to start. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions that can hold a person back from achieving their true potential. It whispers doubts, creates hesitation, and convinces people to stay in their comfort zones where things feel safe and predictable. But the truth is, fear is temporary, while regret lasts forever. The discomfort of facing fear fades with time, but the pain of looking back and realizing you never took a chance can stay with you for a lifetime. Everyone experiences fear. It's a natural response to uncertainty, risk, or stepping into the unknown. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of fear. It's their willingness to push through it. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that growth is on the other side. The greatest achievements in history were made by people who felt fear but took action anyway. If you wait until you're fearless to start, you'll never move forward. Think about all the things you've been too afraid to do. Maybe it was speaking up in a meeting, starting a business, learning a new skill, or taking a big opportunity. At the moment, fear made it seem impossible. But imagine if you had done it anyway. Imagine how much progress you could have made, how much stronger you would have become, and how many doors could have opened for you. Fear tricks the mind into believing that avoiding risk is the safest option, but in reality, the biggest risk is doing nothing. Successful people feel fear just like everyone else, but they don't let it control them. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, admitted that he felt fear before big games. He feared failure, but he also knew that not trying was worse than losing. He used fear as fuel, pushing himself harder rather than letting it hold him back. The same applies to anyone chasing success. Fear can either be a wall or a stepping stone, and you get to decide which one it will be. One of the biggest fears people have is failure. No one wants to fail, but failure is part of growth. It teaches lessons, builds resilience, and prepares you for future success. The reality is, failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Every successful entrepreneur, athlete, artist, or leader has failed multiple times. What sets them apart is that they didn't let failure define them. They learned from it, adjusted their approach, and kept moving forward. Another common fear is the fear of judgment. People hesitate to chase their dreams because they worry about what others will think. But the truth is, most people are too focused on their own lives to spend much time thinking about yours. And even if they do judge, their opinions have no impact on your success, unless you let them. No one who has ever achieved greatness did so by trying to please everyone. The people who criticize are usually the ones who never took risks themselves. Their words come from their own fears, not yours. The key to overcoming fear is action. The more you face your fears, the weaker they become. Fear is like a muscle. The less you use it, the stronger it grows. But the more you challenge it, the more it shrinks. The first time you step outside your comfort zone, it feels terrifying. The second time, it's a little easier. By the 10th time, it's no longer a big deal. The best way to overcome fear is to prove to yourself that you can do the things you're afraid of. At the end of life, people don't regret the things they tried and failed at. They regret the things they never tried at all. The job they never applied for, the idea they never pursued, the opportunities they let slip away because they were too scared. Regret is much heavier than fear. If you let fear dictate your choices, you will always wonder what could have been. But if you take action despite fear, you will either succeed or learn, and both outcomes are better than regret. The truth is, fear fades, but regret stays. The only way to avoid a life of what-ifs is to take the risks, embrace the challenges, and push forward despite the uncertainty. Every time you act in the face of fear, you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for success. Don't let fear hold you back from becoming the person you're meant to be. Take the leap, because the pain of discipline and courage is temporary, but the pain of regret can last a lifetime. Failure is something that most people fear, but in reality it is one of the most valuable teachers in life. Society often portrays failure as something negative, something to be avoided at all costs. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a stepping stone to it. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has encountered failure along the way. What separates successful people from the rest is their ability to learn from their failures, adapt, and keep pushing forward. One of the most famous examples of failure leading to success is Michael Jordan. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but his journey was not without setbacks. In high school, he was cut from the varsity basketball team, a devastating moment for any young athlete. But instead of letting that failure define him, he used it as motivation. He practiced harder, trained longer, and committed himself to improvement. Years later, he became a 6-time NBA champion and a global icon. His story proves that failure is not the end. It is just part of the process. The same pattern is seen in business and innovation. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, is known for his persistence despite repeated failures. It took him over 1,000 attempts to successfully create a working light bulb. When asked about his failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset is what separates those who give up from those who achieve greatness. Failure is not a reason to stop. It is proof that you are making progress. Each failure provides a lesson that brings you one step closer to success. One of the biggest reasons people fear failure is because of what others might think. Society often pressures people to appear successful all the time, making them afraid to take risks or try something new. But the reality is, every successful person has failed, often multiple times. The difference is that they did not allow failure to stop them. They understood that setbacks are temporary, but the lessons they provide are permanent. Instead of worrying about the opinions of others, focus on the progress that failure can bring. Failure also builds resilience. When things don't go as planned, it forces a person to develop mental toughness. Those who experience failure and keep going become stronger, more determined, and more capable of handling challenges in the future. Every failure is like a test, preparing you for greater obstacles and bigger victories. Without failure, there is no growth. If everything came easily, there would be no reason to improve, adapt, or push beyond your limits. The fear of failure often stops people from even trying. They convince themselves that if they fail, they will be seen as weak or incapable. But in reality, the only true failure is not trying at all. If you never take risks, you never open yourself up to the possibility of success. Every attempt, even if it doesn't work out, brings valuable experience and insight. The only way to truly fail is to give up before reaching your goal. Some of the most successful companies today were built on failures. Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world, started as an online bookstore. Jeff Bezos, its founder, faced countless challenges and setbacks, but he kept evolving. Today, Amazon dominates multiple industries. Similarly, Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity before he built the empire that became Disney. Their stories prove that failure is only a temporary state, and those who persist will find success. Looking back on life, people rarely regret their failures. Instead, they regret the chances they never took. They regret letting fear stop them from going after their dreams. Failure is painful in the moment, but regret lasts much longer. The best way to avoid that regret is to embrace failure as a necessary part of the journey. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and come back stronger. Success is not about avoiding failure. It is about using failure as a tool for improvement. Keep moving forward, because every failure brings you one step closer to your ultimate goal. Motivation is often seen as the key to success, but the truth is motivation comes and goes. It is unreliable, inconsistent, and easily affected by emotions, circumstances, and external influences. This is why discipline is far more important than motivation. Discipline is the ability to take action regardless of how you feel. It is the force that keeps you moving forward even when you are tired, unmotivated, or facing obstacles. Those who rely solely on motivation will struggle to stay consistent, but those who develop discipline will continue progressing no matter what. One of the biggest myths about success is that people who achieve great things are always motivated. This is far from the truth. Even the most successful athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders have days when they do not feel like working, training, or pushing forward. The difference is that they do not wait for motivation to strike. They have built habits and routines that keep them moving forward regardless of how they feel in the moment. This is what separates the best from the rest. Take a professional athlete, for example. They do not train only on the days they feel inspired. They wake up early, hit the gym, and follow strict routines even when they are exhausted. They understand that discipline is what builds strength, endurance, and skill over time. The same applies to any goal in life, whether it is building a business, improving health, or mastering a skill. Consistency is what creates results, and consistency comes from discipline, not motivation. Discipline is a mindset. It is about making a commitment to yourself and following through, no matter the circumstances. People who lack discipline often make excuses. They say they do not have enough time, energy, or resources. They wait for the perfect moment to start. But those who are disciplined take action regardless of the situation. They create time instead of waiting for it. They push through discomfort instead of avoiding it. They understand that progress is made by showing up every single day, not just when they feel like it. One of the most effective ways to build discipline is by creating routines and habits. When something becomes a habit, it no longer requires willpower or motivation. It becomes automatic. Successful people structure their days in a way that removes the need for decision-making. They plan their workouts, work schedules, and learning sessions so that they become non-negotiable parts of their daily lives. This eliminates the temptation to skip or procrastinate. Discipline also means embracing discomfort. Growth never happens inside a comfort zone. The most rewarding achievements require effort, sacrifice, and persistence. Many people give up when things get hard because they believe difficulty means they are on the wrong path. But in reality, struggle is a sign of progress. Those who understand this keep pushing forward, even when things get tough. They embrace the challenges because they know that every difficulty they overcome makes them stronger and more capable. One of the biggest advantages of discipline is that it builds self-confidence. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You develop trust in yourself, knowing that no matter what happens, you will keep going. This confidence carries over into every aspect of life. On the other hand, when you break promises to yourself, it weakens your self-belief. This is why discipline is not just about achieving goals. It is about becoming a stronger, more resilient person. At the end of the day, motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. Motivation may get you started, but only discipline will keep you going. Success is not about doing things when you feel like it. It is about doing them even when you don't. The people who achieve their dreams are not the ones who are always motivated, but the ones who show up every single day no matter what. If you want to reach your full potential, stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline. Excuses are one of the biggest barriers to success. They are the lies people tell themselves to justify inaction. Excuses provide temporary comfort but lead to long-term regret. The most common excuses, I don't have time, I'm not ready, or what if I fail, are all self-imposed limitations. The truth is, people who achieve success are not the ones who have perfect circumstances. They are the ones who refuse to let excuses stop them. They take responsibility for their actions, push past their doubts, and do whatever it takes to reach their goals. Time is one of the most common excuses people use. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, yet some people achieve extraordinary things while others remain stuck. The difference is in how they use their time. Successful people prioritize what matters. They don't waste hours scrolling through social media, watching television, or procrastinating. Instead, they make time for what is important. If something truly matters, time can always be found. The reality is that people don't lack time, they lack commitment. When you stop making excuses and start making changes, you realize that time was never the issue. Your priorities were. Another common excuse is, I'm not ready. Many people believe they need to be fully prepared before they start something new. They think they need more knowledge, more experience, or the perfect conditions before they take action. But the truth is, no one ever feels completely ready. The best way to prepare is to start. Waiting for the perfect moment only leads to endless procrastination. Every successful person started before they felt ready. They learned along the way, adjusted when necessary, and improved through experience. Action leads to progress, while waiting leads to nothing. Fear of failure is another excuse that holds people back. Many people are so afraid of making mistakes that they never even try. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the process. Every great achiever has failed multiple times before reaching their goals. Michael Jordan missed thousands of shots in his career, yet he became one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. The difference between successful people and those who fail is that successful people do not let failure stop them. They see it as a lesson, not a defeat. Instead of fearing failure, embrace it as a necessary step toward growth. People also make excuses about their circumstances. They say, I don't have the right connections, I wasn't born into wealth, or I don't have the right resources. While some people do start with advantages, success is not determined by where you start. It is determined by your willingness to work. Many of the world's most successful people came from difficult backgrounds. They did not let their circumstances define them. Instead, they used what they had, found creative solutions, and kept moving forward despite the challenges. Excuses only keep you stuck. Taking action is the only way to change your reality. Another dangerous excuse is, I'll start tomorrow. This is a trap that keeps people in a cycle of inaction. Tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month, and eventually years pass without any progress. The best time to start anything is now. Waiting only wastes valuable time. Small steps taken today are more powerful than big plans postponed indefinitely. Progress is built through consistent effort, not through waiting for the right moment. The truth is, excuses are easy, but results require effort. Every time you make an excuse, you delay your own success. Instead of looking for reasons why something is difficult, look for ways to make it happen. Take responsibility for your actions and hold yourself accountable. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the decision to take action. When you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility, everything changes. The path to success is not reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It is open to anyone who is willing to put in the work and refuse to accept excuses. Success is not about luck, talent, or even intelligence. It is about perseverance. The ability to keep going despite challenges, failures, and obstacles is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who give up. Perseverance is the driving force behind every major accomplishment in history. It is the willingness to push forward even when things seem impossible, to keep fighting even when progress is slow, and to refuse to quit even when every part of you wants to. Those who persevere eventually find success because they refuse to accept defeat. Many people give up too soon. They start something with excitement and motivation, but the moment they encounter difficulties, they begin to doubt themselves. They question whether they are capable, whether they are on the right path, or whether they should even continue. The truth is, every journey to success is filled with struggles. No one achieves greatness without setbacks. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people keep going. They understand that failure is not permanent, obstacles are temporary, and perseverance is the key to overcoming them. One of the greatest examples of perseverance is the story of Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. Most people would have given up long before reaching that point, but he refused to quit. He believed in his idea and kept pushing forward despite constant rejection. Today, KFC is one of the most recognized fast food brands in the world. His success was not because of luck. It was because he never stopped trying. The same is true for some of the most successful athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job as a television anchor and told she was unfit for TV, but she didn't let that define her. She worked harder, improved her skills, and eventually became one of the most influential media figures in history. Walt Disney was rejected multiple times and was even told he lacked creativity before he built his entertainment empire. The list goes on, but the lesson remains the same. Perseverance is what turns dreams into reality. One of the biggest challenges of perseverance is dealing with self-doubt. There will always be moments when you question whether you are capable, whether you are making the right choices, or whether all your effort is even worth it. This is where many people give up. But self-doubt is just a test. Those who push through it, despite the uncertainty, discover their true potential. The only way to know what you are truly capable of is to keep going, even when you don't feel confident. Confidence is built through action, and perseverance is what keeps that action consistent. Another challenge is the fear of failure. Many people stop trying because they are afraid of failing. But failure is not the end, it is a lesson. Every failure teaches something valuable, making you stronger and better prepared for future challenges. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than others have even tried. The only real failure is quitting. As long as you keep moving forward, you are still in the game and you still have a chance to win. Perseverance is also about patience. Success does not happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and persistence. Many people want instant results, but anything worth achieving requires consistent work. The best things in life take time to build. Whether it's a career, a business, a skill, or personal growth, the only way to achieve lasting success is through perseverance. Those who stay committed despite slow progress are the ones who eventually reach their goals. At the core of perseverance is belief. You must believe in yourself, in your vision, and in your ability to succeed. There will be people who doubt you, obstacles that try to stop you, and moments when giving up seems like the easiest. But if you believe in what you are doing and refuse to quit, success is inevitable. The road may be long and difficult, but those who keep going are the ones who make it to the finish line. Perseverance is not just a skill, it is a mindset. Those who master it achieve the impossible. Success isn't given, it's earned through discipline, resilience, and a refusal to quit. Every step forward brings you closer to your goals, but only if you keep going. If this video inspired you, don't just sit on that feeling. Take action. Drop a comment below with the one goal you refuse to give up on. Smash that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear this, and remember, your ambition has no limits. This is Peak Ambition, and we'll see you in the next one. Now go out there and make it happen.